Let's record this. Jawgemo was very kind to send us a second demo, or rather replay file, that we can use and watch him play. So we're going to be watching him play on Pell as a Yoru this time, not a Cypher, as a Yoru. So very happy to do that. Let me just uncover the minimap and let's see how he plays. Now, I think he plays solo, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same account that he used on the Cypher game, so it's not an alt account, it's his main account. Let's see how he plays as a Yoru on Pell. No lineup for this, just chucking it in the corner. It's in theory, like, when I play Yoru, I like using a lineup from this position over here, or from Cubby. He goes for a Sheriff in pistol round, which is a decision that many people do on Jets, Reynas, and Yorus in defense. I don't blame them, because Sheriff is meta. You know, most people don't use shields, so 2 body shots and you get a kill. So, over rotation, 1 defender, 1 attacker gone. The Sova is holding double doors with the spike. We have no information if someone is on the B long. Shocked that to destroy the trap, but he missed. Needs 1 more kill to get a another TP. Overstayed his welcome, definitely. I was definitely overpicking in this round here. Okay. They lost this pistol round. Let's take a look at another play. So goes for a Sheriff. No util. Absolutely 0 util being bought. Now, remember when we were watching those replay files, players might not be taking it fully seriously, right? But it does create habits that can then be transferred to actual pro games as well. Now, I'll tell you this. If you play round 2 after you lost pistol round, and you are planning to buy full on round 3, you should already have the utility on round 2. You just don't have to use it unless you have to. He was most likely also streaming that game, so yeah, there might be some, you know, stuff happening there, maybe answering chat or something like that. Clove gets a 2k. Jawgemo currently is just not really doesn't really need to do anything. There was already 2 bloods going towards his team. He's just covering the other side of the map. I get an information that he was playing with the chamber in a duo. Okay, we're gonna take that into consideration then. Fake TP. Now remember, in patch 11.08, if someone would be in range of 22 meters over here, so like in this kind of range, then they would have heard him activating the fake TP. Like, this is why I don't really like fake TPing when I'm flanking silently, because someone can accidentally know my position. Okay, so now the information about the stars happening on B. So he's going fast, flanking.
Down B. Last
he definitely get the information about the 1 bullet.
Gun.
Nice.
Gun here.
So, Pistolerinho Flipperino goes for a Regen Shield. No, sold the Regen Shield, goes for a full armor. Very early TP. I'm not sure I like this. Let me show something. This is me being nitpicky, right? This is me being nitpicky right here. No, it's fine. He was just late to his position. It's all good. It was like, I was thinking if he can get more time on his TP, but it actually doesn't matter. He was just late to his position. Fade fucked up the lineup, I think. It then went in between the thingies, but now you can see here that that is a one-way flash that he's using here on B long. Sorry, on banana. But the thing is, it doesn't fully flash everyone, right? It bounces like here, above it, like this. And this is a really good flash for those positions here, including the Sova. The Sova gets fully flashed, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But the problem is, the player that Phoenix here, right? Let me check which number is Phoenix. He is completely unaffected. This is one of the things that I really like talking about when it comes to thinking about flashes of any character. You need to think, what is the first angle that you are peeking, and that angle most likely has to be affected by your flash. In this case, this Phoenix was just not ready to fight Jawgemo here, so he gets fully punished, right?
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Great reposition. We can definitely min-max though the flash, the second flash here from the smoke, right? Because you can see here how the jet reacts to the smoke. Reacts to the flash because it's so slow. Pay attention. It could be bounced earlier on the wall because this one bounces from here, right? It bounces from here and it has the entire travel time, so it explodes around this area, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Yeah. See? It's very easy to dodge because you can... Oh my god, it's even longer. Even longer than that. So this guy just doesn't really get affected. Right? This is why you are always trying to like in your smoke, you're trying to flash more angled to eat the position of the smoke through to eat the position of the flash through the smoke for a longest possible time. This is why that jet was here not flashed at all and was kind of ready to fight Jawgemo but missed the shots, right? He has the advantage of a better gun in this case. He gets still hit, right? But then the reposition for the second kill was very fucking neat. A little bit of a compensation. And then, you see how he adjusted his aim without moving his mouse? He's doing that with just the strafe. This is like a technique that just allows you to be much more precise because you not only reposition so you are harder to hit, but you know exactly how your crosser will move. So he's able to have that crosser perfectly on the next player there without moving his mouse. Nice Asu. Alright, let's see if he will utilize his ultimate aggressively or reactively now. Uses his TP after the barrier already drops, so maximizes the duration of the ult. Sorry, of the gate crash. He knows about the A players now pushing. Clove gets the first kill. Stars are being put now on the A side. Unlucky. Like, he saw the leg but didn't realize. So, Ripperoni pepperoni. So no ultimate being used right here. Operator, but has the ultimate. Okay, so just a bounce from the wall. That is that is crazy, guys. Just remember, this is Radiant. And those people, like, look, this literally helps him get kills. It's like they forget that the map gets changed. He gets silent boost into a very awkward position for the opponents to do anything about it. Most people probably will not even remember that there are boxes now on the right. So he is able to be in a very dangerous position for the opponents. Now, they do a fake here on B, right? Because the spike is in spawn. This fake is terrible, by the way. They use the Astra Wall. They are faking B push with the Sova and the Phoenix, but the spike is still in spawn. No one is taking any space. Someone will have to go back for the spike. This is a terrible fake. I like this. He repositions. Unfortunately, the entire A site is gonna be taken. Now they know. Now they should know this is a fake. Hello, virus.
Spike planted.
Ulting with the... No, not ulting. Now, again, I'm gonna be nitpicky, right? I'm gonna be very nitpicky here. Putting the clone
Spike planted.
on the ground here doesn't really do anything. The only thing that you do is you already have your gun out, right? When you're swinging instantly, but you're gonna achieve the same if you're just gonna left click and when he's aiming at the wall. No one is also shooting a clone that has an operator equipped because no one would ever do that, right?
Last player standing.
Sick kill with the shorty, but yeah, unlucky that he was last alive in the ultimate. So here was what I don't like about... I see many Yoru players doing this, and that's my personal opinion, but remember, right? To remember that many players have completely different approach to playing Yoru. I feel like when you're in a situation like this, you could separate your Yoru ultimate in a different round, because right there you are not able to be proactive because everyone else, like the retake was already on a lower chance, like it is a 2v3, right? And if you use the ult, you're essentially 1v3ing, and if your teammate dies, your ultimate is wasted. And now for the next round, we have a full eco, which instead could be now utilized for the ultimate round, right? A lot of informations from A main happening right here. Neon should be telling about like multiple players there. Double bind to TP away. Now that doesn't flash anyone. That is definitely behind that. Yeah. Right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Actually, let's check. I like the lineup though. If actually, but the problem is, I feel like it is too much to the right. I wonder if you can make it a little bit more like more angled towards here, which would be also nice. It's a cool flash, but unfortunately it's not fully effective. As you can see here, that Vice was completely unaffected by that flash, because let's take a look at the position of Vice. I feel like that flash could be a thing if angled a little bit more aggressively outside of the map. Let's take a look at it again. Because not only the Vice is gonna be fully aware of the flash yet, see? So even if I'm standing like here, I'm not affected by the flash. So I can fully hold. This is like the hold position. And you're not being affected by the flash. So I think the flash is a cool idea, but it's angled way too much in this position. So it would have to explode over here instead, which means you would have to bounce it more aggressively from the lamp, but then it kind of loses its purpose because it's completely telegraphed. So at the same time, you could just flash from this wall and just explode over here, and probably would achieve very similar results. But I like the idea. Will he use the TP that I found the bug for today? No. Aggressive push, 1 flash, 2 TPs, no clone, 1 and a vandal. Chamber is playing with the ultimate and saving for the operator next round instead of dropping his duo who's Jawgemo here. I'm completely fine with that. I think having an operator on defense on this map is incredibly important. So making sure that Chamber has the operator is a good choice. Whoa. Probably communicating on or looking at the minimap. We know from from watching Jawgemo, we know his reaction time is he's like a cat. Like legit 120 milliseconds or something. Right here, this is he's distracted by something. By most likely looking at the minimap or communicating. Okay, so goes for the judge. Let's see how he plays with the judge. And buys the sheriff as well. Okay. So that's pretty big commitment, to be honest. He wants to bait them into thinking that he only has... No, wait, did he sell it? He sold it. He sold it. He sold it. Never mind. But he goes for the full sheriff armor, bro. Now you don't have cash for the next round. What's going on here? No? It's 600 credits. Beautiful shot. This is one thing that I personally have a problem with. Look at the very high positioning of the crosser. And I know that this can be also the demo thing, the replay file changing things, but I see a lot of people actually having this kind of crosser positioning, and I'm always wondering, how the fuck does that hit? You know? Yeah, okay, so alright. So in this case, he did correct it a little bit down, but I think there's a discrepancy between the demo and the actual thing happening in the game, but he still had he had it a little bit higher than he should have because he repositioned it lower. He's so good with those repositions, actually kind of crazy. You know?
Gun here.
Maybe I should aim higher as well myself. TP goes for the B rotation. They are fully pushing into B. That's the spike.
Spike down B.
Once he gets the info about the spike, he
remaining.
TPs. Clone for CT to create distraction. And now they don't know where the last player is. Typically that Vice was lurking, so he expects her to be anywhere. Bit of luck with the shot. What, with the sheriff shot? That was no luck. Now you can see that he's not he's holding for the cross. He doesn't hold for someone being close. That's the crosser placement. If he would be holding for someone close, then his crosser placement will be way higher. So he fully expects someone to be lurking next to the wall that is very close to the banana over here in this area. Like here. Right? This blue area over here. Bro, what is happening with the FPS? There are some bugs still with the replay system and losing randomly performance. So he's one away from the ultimate. Yeah. Ooh. Buys the team time with that flash. Repositions. Wait, what is happening?
30 seconds left.
There's some miscommunication happening right here, I think, because they're probably the call was that they're pushing B or looking like pushing B. So Jawgemo repositioned and wanted to help his teammate, his duo mate that is playing B. That's the chamber. But it's actually an A push. Fate texts 4 players. That information should be conveyed. I think this flash missed, unfortunately, because it was meant to be through the window.
Seconds
Let's
left.
check. Or is it? Let's see, because this might be a cool flash if it's like on purpose this way. Ah, but no, it... Huh? Ooh, okay. I like this. But then the angle over here is very, very tight. So it only affects a person through the window, which is very tight angle, and someone who's holding default, but it doesn't affect completely players from main. Also, it kind of looked like it was winged, no? So it's like probably wasn't like fully anticipated to be that. Let's see. Did he use any lineups or something for this? No. It's kind of like... I think he wanted to put it through the window. But it worked perfectly for that kill on Phoenix. It's so hard to sometimes read, like, was this on purpose or not? Because with Yoru players, you will never know. But it was very nice engagement on that Phoenix.
10 seconds left.
Now we know the position of both of 2 players. I really like how he used the smoke for his advantage over here. Very good wide swing from the close to the wall. Like, you cannot just close peek like this because your opponent will have such an advantage. So his wide swings tries to make that disadvantage a little bit smaller for himself, but it's such a hard situation to actually win this. It's crazy low probability of having a success rate here. Let's see how that flash looks like. Yeah, that is definitely not a good flash. This is the pixel. Yeah, I don't recommend using this flash. That is definitely a flash that doesn't affect. Like, if someone is standing in this position and holds you, like, he never gets flashed, right? Look, you're standing here in the most common position and you're fully flashing yourself, but you're not flashing the opponent who's just holding the angle. So this flash only works on people who are standing in this position over here, like this. And many people approaching this are coming from this angle over here, which are not affected. And this is, like, again, I'm talking about this like from perspective of any flash, right? If you Phoenix flash, you do it, of course, around the corner over here, but there's a possibility of doing it with Yoru as well. If you bounce it from the ground over here and you explode over here, right? Then you affect the most common angles. If you explode it here, you affect the most common angles that you need to affect when you're swinging this. Because your most common enemy will be here. This is your first angle that you need to check. And then the second, then the third, then the fourth. So it goes literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential positions that you need to think about when flashing like this. Your most dangerous one is going to be the red. And then it just becomes smaller and smaller chance of you actually swinging into that person while this flash is still affecting someone, right? So you start from the first angle that sees you, that is here. No, wait, I like this. I like this. Never used this flash myself. Now, let's see if the changes in patch 11.08 fully affect them. Because remember, there was a patch change when it comes to how Yoru flashes affect off angles. And there's a very high chance that after that patch change, those two people are completely not flashed after a moment. Let's see how it works, okay? So first we're gonna see how it looks from perspective from Jog. They are fully flashed. Superb flash. I'm stealing that for myself. I'm stealing that for myself, for sure. Alright, let's take a look at the perspective from Phoenix. He's fully flashed. Now the Jet, fully flashed as well. Very nice. This was awesome. Oh, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Never used this flash myself. Let's take a look. Bounces over here. Now you have to think about it. Maybe in this case, this flash over here would be also good when you retake from Flower, right? But you angle it a little bit lower, so it explodes somewhere here, for example. So you bounce it from here and explodes over here, and it affects the players in Cubby, but also the default. That's something to think about. Let's just... Still not out of the waters because it's just 3 versus 3, and he lost all of his util. I like this TP because it allows you to cross to side. No, never mind, it got stuck. Oh, I was thinking it's gonna get here, but unfortunately because of the new boxes, it gets stuck in this shitty position. Like, you don't want to TP here. But if it would go to B screen, then you're able to like get a pincer, like yourself, you make noise from CT or top of tower or something, and then you TP to side and you try to backstab them when they're moving. Now they're planting on A. Neon took the space on B long. Absolutely zero information about other players. Now they made noise, so Jawgemo should be aware that at least one is in art.
Spike planted.
So Sova backside, sees position, pre-fires the angle. Great kill. Fully anticipates that someone is gonna be flanking him. Oh, unlucky. That was very hard to read. Like, they could have been everywhere. Okay. Next round, what do we have here? Fake star TP to cross. This Astra actually has decent util. Apart from that one Astra wall that he used it for a fake, so it wasn't really that important. But this Astra has a nice util. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this. Let's see if the Jet is fully flashed or half flashed. That's a half flash. Yeah, so I don't like it, and I don't like this, and I think this is the reason for a half flash here is because it's not only super far away, but also because of these 11.0.8 changes to how Yoru flashes work. Well, actually, it was pretty long duration, so maybe it's... Yeah. That's like a support flash for players holding side, essentially.
One enemy remaining.
So not a bad idea. Wait, whoops. We just missed 2 kills. Oh, I like the flash. I like the flash. It's a very supportive flash, right? So you have to... There's also very high chance that you're gonna fuck it up because there's so many like weird angles over here. So you have to pay attention to that. It has to be angled so it bounces like this and explodes over side. So it cannot be in a straight line because then it's gonna fail, right? It's gonna fail the position to explode over site.
Last player standing.
One more time. Incredible aim, no?
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Both time with crouching.
Ult's ready.
Nice control. Three positions with the TP. One heavy. Okay, now he knows where the two players are. Yeah, nice effort. Nice effort, but it was almost impossible to win.
Last round before the switch.
Alright, we have the ultimate. Let's see if he utilizes it. No, he goes for a Guardian. It's kind of interesting to see that Jawgemo doesn't have the playstyle of using the ult in an aggressive way. No? So now he's repositioning for long with the
Last player
Guardian?
standing.
No.
Hey,
Yeah. Both ults on defense were essentially used in the same way. They were like reactive. Reactive, but not really in a way that still can get a lot of value from it. You know what I mean? Like there was very, very low chance of actually doing anything for the other teammates with this ult because so much time passed and also the players were dying. And the ultimate were not used proactively on defense to gather space and they were only using retakes. Now remember, people can do this on purpose. Maybe that's how they like playing Yoru, right? Lurking Yoru? Can't believe that a pro player like Jawgemo would be lurking on Yoru. Ban him. Very disrespectful.
one enemy remaining. Flawless.
Nice hit.
Gun here.
Right, team was very successful in pushing A, so Yoru actually got a lot of space from mid and got the kill on the last meaningless kill, right? To close out the round, of course. But that's the beauty of lurkers. It's like if your team did too well, then you don't really have to do much. But if your teammates did a little bit, then you can actually work and give value. And if your team didn't do shit, then you're fucked. Alright, Jawgemo again is trying to control mid. Now he used this TP from spawn. Wait. This is his TP. So he will join his teammates after making sure that he can control mid. So now when his teammates are pushing, he's gonna most likely flash an EP, yeah.
Spike
So he
down,
made
B.
pressure on mid.
Last player standing.
Oh my god, bro.
Thrift.
Holy. Guys, remember, this is Radiant, right? And at this level, teammates are still losing on B long to a Thrifty. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Is he buying full now after losing this? He must be tilted now. He didn't sell. He didn't sell, so 3 teammates are echoing, including his duo mate, but Jawgemo not only went for a Vandal, but also full shield. So he favors full shield instead of util. Because you could have spent 450 for the util if he bought small shield, right? You should get a frag for this, by the way. For that flick to the arrow. What the hell? Does the arrow have a hitbox of a house? I think he changed his mind. Didn't want to. He wanted to TP close behind the dice, behind the box, but changed his mind last second. Oh, maybe no. Now here, I would just want to remind you that this flash TP play, in general, this is like a very basic play. It doesn't matter that this position is like. I don't want to talk about the position. I want to talk about the timing. So, when you want to time flash TP, in this case, the TP is after, like very late after the flash already bounces. And because the Yoru flash got nerfed on the duration by 250 milliseconds, TPing that late might actually mean that the opponent's flash might be gone before you're able to shoot, right? So just think about this when you're flash TPing yourself. Ideally, you want to use your TP the moment that flash bounces. The moment it bounces, you activate your TP. The flash explodes while you're already there. It half flashes you because you're looking outside of the range of the flash, and your opponents are getting flashed in that same moment, right? Crucial kill by the chamber. Very like the reason why there was a second TP used to travel to Art is because he has the objective. Jawgemo has the spike, so he has to reach site. He cannot risk just walking through Art, so that's why he used the TP to make sure that he can go through the choke point. Even when it's smoked off, that is just incredibly important to deliver the spike there. Makes noise, baits for the clove. Those sounds were made on purpose.
One enemy remaining.
Crazy kill. Up close angle peek. Let's see if he wide swings. But with 10 HP, that is incredibly risky, by the way. Will he play off the dog? Yeah. That was incredibly risky because the opponent was already like thinking about shooting the dog. So he swung into the dog and gets killed through the dog or through the wall. Doesn't matter. Like that was incredibly risky, but fortunately Fate clutched it out. So, TP for the other side of the map. This is very similar to how I play Yoru myself, actually. So, I really enjoy looking at a perspective of someone who has very similar idea how to play attack on Yoru. Because what you can do, right? Your job can be like this. You put the TP to join your team. So, if you're going to B on long, you can use the clone, the flash, affect the players on B long, create pressure. And pigeonholed, I don't even know if this is a correct word, but essentially keep those two players hostage. So the Astra and Jet need to stay in this area over here before rotating towards A. So even when you TP, they're not gonna know because the range is the distance is too big. So he can hold them hostage for an extended period of time, which will make it easier for the 4 teammates to actually work towards A side. And you can do variations of that. So we have seen this already on the follow-up to the pistol round, where 4 players went here. Jawgemo was playing top mid. He put the TP to join the team over here, and then he used the flash in mid doors, made certain that the player is visibly, like, you know, pressured by the mid doors area, so the player needed to hold that, and then he joined the team. They still lost, but that, I digress, that doesn't matter. The goal was to create pressure on a different lane that the team is coming to, because that holds the rotations from happening. And in case of like doing it even more diversified, is you can, for example, use the clone preemptively from the barrier from top mid, but play Yoru on B long. So you put pressure on mid and on B long while your teammates are going, for example, towards A, right? So this, or you can put the clone, actually from the barrier, not from top mid, but you could put the clone, if I'm not mistaken, from mid shops over here as a lineup that goes towards art over here, and creates pressure this way as well, while you playing, for example, long B. So I really like that. Although in this case he also has the ultimate, so I would absolutely love to see to that ultimate to be used very, very aggressively. Now, unfortunately, he didn't use the clone nor the flash to build up pressure from long B, so the players from long B are rotating. Now, because they are rotating, the job can change, and now he can take the space on B as a lurker, call for rotation, and get the spike planted on this side. So you can see, like, the entire B is completely empty. He's not, of course, certain about it, but he's thinking that it's empty. So he's repositioning. Now he's fake cloning. And now he just died because of the change in 11.08. I don't think he remembered that. I don't think Jawgemo remembered that activating the TP makes the sound. I will show you from perspective of Jet. The clone kind of worked, right? But right here, we're gonna swap to the Jet player. Listen to what he hears. Hear that? He got a confirmation someone is in that position next to him.
My ult's ready.
So, nice idea, but because of the change and essentially a nerf to Yoru, it got fucked. And he used it fake TP after he used the clone, so that was not a mistake. Just to make sure that I'm right about this one.
My ult's ready.
Rewinding with every 5 seconds is... Yeah, he activated the clone, and now he decides, yeah, I'm gonna fake TP as well. See? Okay. I like the overall idea, but execution definitely was lacking a little bit. Now we have the ultimate again. Now, what he achieves here by pre-planting the clone, I'm gonna explain this. So he pre-plants the clone, and by doing a pre-plant of the clone, you can equip your flash and activate the clone at the same time, which is not possible if you left-click your clone, right? So you can see that here happening. So he kinda like does both at the same time. It doesn't really achieve much because the players are holding a very tight angle, so they are not getting flashed. Okay, beautiful shot. Yeah. Well, he knew about 2 players being double doors. So that is very hard, like, peek. Dry peeking as well. I don't know. I didn't like this, but... Yep. We didn't utilize the Yoru ult for, like, 3 rounds now. You know? Hopefully you can see an initiation with the ult right now. Left the TP in top mid, but it's moving. That is interesting. What? So it went from mid top over here to here. But it could have just... It's okay. Like, it probably was meant to be right-clicked. He faked it because he needs to reposition his TP. So I think he just misclicked it. He didn't want it to... Like, I think he destroys the TP mid-ult because this is the potential route for the rotational player to flank, and that means he would be completely exposed. So I didn't like that position of the TP, so I think that's why he just instantly destroyed it. If it would stay over here mid top, I would like it as well, because after the potential ultimate pressure on B, exit, try to do something, you can TP mid top and hold the rotators from mid, or like go double doors. Checks all the corners. Goes for the Bucky kill. Okay. Well, I liked it. That's what we needed before as well. That's what we needed on defense as well. Maybe not for Bucky, right? But that's what we needed. The Yoru ult definitely in the as an like more proactive use tool. I think this is just winged it. Was someone peeking of this? Maybe Neon? Maybe he wanted to help the Neon, but Neon was already dead, so he was late. I think so. Right? I think he wanted to help the Neon with this flash. Let me see when this Neon dies. Yeah, I think he wants to help the Neon over here, which is a cool play. But unfortunately, Neon peaks before that flash will actually go there. Yeah, it would be really good flash if that Neon would just wait a little bit, because I think that's a full flash on Vice, no? Right, where's the Vice? This is the Vice. Was it full? Let me check. I think it was half.
Spike planted. My ultimate's
Okay, so it was a half flash. So that's quite unfortunate, because the half flash here doesn't really do much. Can you fix this to make a full flash over here? Probably very inconsistent, because there's so many angles over here. And remember that the range of the Yoru flash is 40 few meters. I can't remember. I had it in my Yoru guide, but I can't actually remember. And if he doesn't bounce before reaching that distance, it just disappears. I wonder if he could reach like this wall over here and bounce it from here. Would have to check. Now the thing is, he's hurting from not having the second TP. Because now, if he would have the second TP, he could play aggressively on site. Very selfless. He was trying to help the teammate in elbow, although I would activate the clone here because he already pre-planted it.
one enemy remaining.
Okay, nice. His ultimate was very valuable to open the site, so it literally was a round changer. Now we have mid control. Oh, that arrow is fucked. And now he should be getting like 3 kills here for sure. Because this player from double doors should now start rotating bottom, because there's no one here. So he should like fast rotate unless he wants to stay with the Bucky. That's a possibility. But one of those players, either the Sova or the Phoenix, they will start rotating now. Good read. Good read. Phoenix is very mad at the Sova now.
One enemy
Yeah.
remaining.
And he was also fully aware that the Sova didn't rotate with footsteps from the art position because he didn't hear it, right? He didn't hear art position when the Sova was putting the arrow, which means that either the Sova silently rotates towards A side, so he's very far away, or silently pushes mid. So he's fully aware that the Sova can be next to him. I like that. Let's check the flash. I like this flash. I really like the flash. It's a good angle, actually. It's a long bounce. Really long bounce. So maybe it would be even better if you bounce it like upwards from here, like here. So to make it even tighter. But I like this flash. I like this. This might be something that I will steal as well. Creates pressure, pops the wall. Now this is very good. Imagine if the team would actually be scaling up long B. He fully made the opponents rotate towards A. Unfortunately, no one is taking any space on B main and they die double doors. So all of that pressure that he achieved on A main is now lost. And you can see the player go back. Now Neon gets the kill on mid, and because of that, he's allowed... Not he's allowed. The kill from Neon on double doors essentially makes the rotators from B to A go back to B. That's the Sova and the Jet, right? Over here, those two players. So now, most likely we're gonna see re-hit on A once this kill happened on double doors. Let's see.
Spike drop. I got the spike.
Fade announced her position, unfortunately. But has the ultimate. That's just Phoenix is peeking with the flash from a smoke.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
So his backside, Neon knows his position. Nice. So his position is known, so he instantly goes to side. This is a lower buy. Good aggressive flash. Gets a random headshot from the Sova and art, but teammates should be winning this. Yep, okay. Has the ultimate. Alright, let's see. Goes with the Vandal. Okay. And he, again, look. There's so many things you can do right now. You can ult in A, make pressure on those two players, TP to B instantly, and finish your ult on B. Or just go side on A, un-ult on A, create pressure on A, and keep those three players hostage because they think Yoru's on A side while the team scales up to B. Like, let's see how he plays this out. Okay, so he chose the first option. He knows about the wall, informs the teammates right now, and just stays here. Oh, the Fade gets killed because of the phones. And the phones are from our own teammate, bro. No, wait, never mind. From theirs. All good.
Spike down B.
Now it's 4v5. Yeah, this flash was not the best. He just tried to compensate for the loss of the one player. That's why the aggressive push. And the flashes were improvised and they were not min-max for sure. So the Phoenix play was completely unaffected because the flash was happening here. So the angle was very tight. But if it would be thrown like here and the explosion would be here, then the player from rotation, from spawn would be most likely affected then. But Jawgemo was just doing it incredibly fast because that was his window. That was his timing window. So he needed to make decisions in split seconds.
Last player standing.
Oh, wait, what I'm watching, dead body. So TP goes into spawn. Oh, I heavily dislike this flash. I wish he would have used the flash that he used before bouncing from this wall. Now, the reason why I dislike this flash is for the exact reason why I dislike this flash bouncing from this wall on defense. Pay attention how it affects this area. See? Right here, this doesn't flash at all the aggressive players. The aggressive players, they don't give a fuck. Someone holding this angle like this also doesn't get flashed because it's outside of his vision range. You see this? Like, it doesn't matter how it flashes because it doesn't affect that player. So Jawgemo is just gonna die here, almost. Because that flash is not aimed at your most crucial positions. Right? When you flash here, let me rewind this. Right, so let me slow this down. Okay, so this is the explosion of the flash. And now we can talk about the angles here. So the angle that is affected is like this. All of this is affected. Blue is semi-affected, right? I'm not talking about here because there are no enemies in this position. Like there's zero chance that someone is in this position, so we're not gonna talk about it. But the red is completely unaffected, right? And the blue is gonna be like this. Red is gonna be unaffected as well. So red is completely unaffected. Blue is semi-affected. Yellow is affected. And the problem is, when people do aggressive pushes on B, they are most likely standing on blue or red. And yellow is most likely only chambers because they need to be depending on the range of their TPs. But a Jet, for example, never stands in yellow because it's so hard to dash away because there's an obstacle over here, right? Yorus can be anywhere, so you cannot even anticipate where they're gonna be. And if there's a Phoenix, he's always gonna be red because of the range of his flash. So if you want to flash this position, essentially the flash that I've seen Jawgemo use before from here, that one would be great because it would affect every single player in every single zone, right? Maybe someone in this area would not be affected, but the aggressors would be, right? So that would be a good choice. Or you want to bounce it from the ground over here, like somewhere here, so it bounces over here and then it explodes here, so it affects this area like this. I mean, sorry, like this. Not here, right? So it would be like flash like this would be fuck me, would be affecting this kind of cone, right? So right here, you can see how big of an effect is pre-planning your flashes to make sure that they work the way that you want them to work. So now it's a 4v5, 3v5, this is gonna be a very hard round to win. The only way that you can win this round is by abusing the opponent's mistakes. So Jawgemo is gonna definitely try to be proactive here. Just dry swing without making noise. Try to get someone just by surprise.
Last player standing.
And it's riperoni, pepperoni. Can't really anticipate two players there.
Match point.
Okay. So now, last round goes for a Guardian. Neon can have the ultimate if he gets the orb. We put a cross map TP towards spawn. Okay. Interesting flash. Let's see how it goes. Hello? So it affects the player on top of the boxes. And it affects the player over here. Doesn't affect the player in the cubby. I like this one. I like this flash. Probably could be a little bit more angled. To make sure it doesn't go behind the pillar. You know? But I like this one. And the jet now has to reposition. Right? Where's the jet? Hello? Well, actually, but this is the problem. Right here, this player could have dropped on the boxes below and still be up in that position. Okay, clone popped the wall. Pressure created on B. Over rotations from A. So A main is completely clear. Neon doesn't know that, of course, because it's nonsensical that it's clear. But they do take the space. Dude, even Radiants are just completely over-rotating in ranked. There's like no reason for A main to not be covered at all. And even, I would just want to tell you, I was giving some compliments to the opposing Astra, but right here, this is a big blunder. If you have a situation like this, where you are not controlling A main, right? Let's use yellow color. You're not controlling A main as a defender in this spot. And your teammates are over-rotating towards B, so no one is playing A side. The red dot should be your smoke right now. Because if you don't do that, it gives opponents kind of like a green light. Hey, maybe let's try going in here. But if this smoke would be up, then someone can be holding that smoke, and it creates fake pressure even though there's no one on the A side. Yeah, hello, map. Bah. Kadeen gets the kill. Crucial kill on Sova, by the way. Very deep in secret. And it was through a smoke, just a random kill. Chamber unfortunately dies in art. Jawgemo could do a fake TP there just to buy a little bit of time, but he'll announce his position. Now he does it when he's a little bit further away. Probably accident, because I don't think he remembers that he does this noise now from his own position within 23 meters. But he makes the fake in art and now goes for real into art, because no one should suspect that he's gonna be going from art. The problem is, guys, though, the problem is it's not planted for him. So if the teammates now die, he insta loses. So the fact is, hopefully his teammates will prevail, and he will have the time to have impact with this lurk. Clove is still alive. No one is defusing. All right, so the opponent's just throwing.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
That round was lost automatically the moment both players pushed into main. It didn't matter. Like, those two kills are meaningless from Jawgemo. He already won without getting a single kill. The time was gone. None of those opponents actually tried winning this round. All right, first overtime. jump, peek, double bind to make sure that you can get some informations, but the smoke was there from their clove, which creates pressure. The Astra probably had the TP as well. But now, by kinda confirming no one's A main, he's playing on B. The clove smoke on B long is very early. I'm not certain what's the plan here. Now clove doesn't have smokes for the next 20 seconds, I would say. Let me check. Aha, fade, of course, full green. For 35 seconds, guys, and it's full green. 7 seconds. Okay, the first smoke was instantly popped. Okay. Still has 15 seconds on his TP. So I wouldn't be surprised if he aggressively does the same play that he did before on A main. And now repositions to help on A. Unfortunately, Neon dies. That flash is very easily dodgeable. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit. I'll be honest with you. And I think that's an easy fix. Also horrible smokes, by the way, by the attackers. I'll show you something. I really like the plan of using the clone and the flash. But I don't like the fact that we're not flashing from the ground up. This one is super easy to dodge. You can see Sova just literally just having so much time to react. I think if the flash would be just made from the ground, from behind over here, just from the ground and explodes above the hut, it affects the same players, but it affects the entire site as well. And this guy has a very hard time dodging this. You know? All right. Getting one here is still a miracle, but it's a 3 versus 4, so they lose this round. Not overtime. We know exactly what is the time of the game, but yeah. So he's following up on the Neon, puts a rotational TP towards top. Oh, that is unfortunate, but he can jump on this. So did this fade, man? Oh my god. And by the way, just wanted to point out, this is Radiant, and the fade never attempted to ult with Yoru. Flash was very aggressive. So it kind of pushes the opponents away rather than tries to help him actually get a kill. He heard the footsteps of the jet. That's why he's flashing this. Sorry for bopping the mic. Yeah, but it's incredibly hard to flash this because the pillar is just obscuring everything. I like the follow-up, getting to close position. Now he has the timing. This is well played, good game sense, and knowing when are his windows of opportunities to hit the strike. Fake TP to build up pressure, and the teams are finishing up the round.
Overtime.
So he plays an operator, no util, double TP. Very close angle. Was that fade eye actually good? I pointed out this mistake at the beginning of doing this replay file. You guys remember how I was struggling to find the words? And I was saying like, oh, it landed between the things. That's what I meant. And Jawgemo trusted this eye. And this is, guys, this is like high Immortal 3 or Radiant. And people have no idea how to fucking do basic utility. How are we, the plebs, meant to play the game? Like, Jawgemo could have been 3 times dead here, by the way. just because of that, he trusted that eye. And this is, he dies here to 3 bullets from a Vandal for 120. So he misses a bullet. Like, this is such funny situation because this Sova swings in a way that doesn't make any sense. He goes up close corner. He's very hard to hit because he makes an idiotic movement that no one should be doing. But he's doing this because he realized that the Fade Eye was being thrown on the bicycle lineup. So he was just like, oh wait, he missed his eye. I'm just going to run in. So he goes in an idiotic corner, in an idiotic way. The pathing just doesn't make any sense. You can see how he's going to go through here. And it's impossible to hit that. Look. Like, it makes no sense. No one swings like this. Alright, let's go next round.
Match point.
So full buy, full util. TP to spawn. Jumps. Very risky, by the way. But it is. Did the Fade use an eye? Of course not. Okay. So we have a walk up. Clone is going with the rifle. Flash is botched, but it was, so doesn't matter if the flash was botched. The only reason to use that flash here was to make sure that no one hits the clone. Because if someone destroys the clone before it reaches the crucial position of the wall, you will not destroy the objective. And the objective here was destroying the wall. The Vice was giga strong on defense. It gives you perma info, and it can only be triggered by a real player or by a clone. Nothing else actually in the game. Yoru clone is the only piece of util that actually affects the Vice ult. Sorry, the Vice wall. So it's pivotal for Jawgemo to make sure that he destroys that wall, because that allows to build pressure. And you can see how attackers now are scaling up to A. Now, unfortunately, there's no more pressure happening on B. So the players on A are going to be holding this, right? Because they learned that they should not over-rotate. Chamber is fighting currently. Got a kill on the Phoenix, which is huge. And that's a whiff. Unlucky. I mean, can happen to anyone.
Overtime.
Alright, so 14-14, 2 less rounds. So this is both won by Jawgemo's team. Alright, wait. I want to see that flash. Did the guy actually do a good fade now? Not a good one. No, this is not a good fade eye. But like a good fade eye should be landing over here or over here, right? And the idea here to use that flash from Yoru is to make sure that no one destroys the eye, because both are flashed. This is why this Yoru flash is being used here. So now they're being both exposed, but at least the eye works. Right? So they can scale up and they get this position under their control. And even if they fall back from this position, if they do it quietly, then the attackers have to use so much util, see, to actually fight for this position. And Yoru can just stay here till he TPs out. I like this play. The fade eye was not great, but I like the flash. Now, this is a big problem, because dying here completely destroys the value that they got from the first moments of the round. But fortunately for them, they go into B and they ult and they win anyway. So that's kind of crazy that they won this. For some reason, the opponents didn't push into A. Now let's see the last round of this demo. Aggressive Phoenix flash. Gets an ult right now.
My ult's ready. Spike drop.
Drops the spike before ulting because otherwise he would be stuck with it. Repositions the TP. Gets an info about one player. And gets the info about the other player, right? Yep. Flash from the wall. Look, did we learn? What did we learn? We learned that Radiant players don't know how to use Initiator Util. We are reinforcing this knowledge every single time we're watching pro players play. From Jawgemo's perspective, I liked few of the flashes that we have seen. I like the one that was being used on this pillar over here. I like the one used on from here that bounces off the top of the building and affects art. I like the one that helps the player standing on B when he throws it from spawn and it bounces from the roof of the building above B hall. That was a good one. The one on the lantern definitely needs work. Wasn't a fan of that. And I like how he used the ultimates on attack. But on defense, they were definitely not like fully valuable. You know? His playstyle on attack was definitely like making certain to make pressure on mid while the rest of the team was going in a different direction, or team was going into like long and he was going banana. So essentially Jawgemo has almost the same playstyle that I have on attack as well. I love playing like this. I think this is a very efficient way of playing Yoru. You're not always opening the sides for the team, but when you have like a 4-1 and then the 1 instantly goes back to 4 and creates a full push after creating pressure or getting the kill on the lurk is incredibly effective. So I like that. I like that perspective from him. Now, literally, imagine this. Jawgemo is one of the best Yoru players in VCT, but I feel like he still has so much to do more efficient stuff while playing Yoru. He could be even better. There's so many things that you could still min-max. There are so many things that you could just do more coordinated, or like push the value that you're getting and min-max the value. Specifically the ults on defense, I feel like were very used in a reactive manner, you know? So yeah, it was very nice to watch though. I loved watching and learning how the players play the game. We actually learn a lot more about playstyle of Jawgemo, at least in ranked, how he plays on this particular map. So that's awesome too. And thank you very much, Jawgemo, for sending this demo. This was fucking amazing. Not many pro players are doing this. Hopefully more will do in the future.